In a world that never stops talking, where everyone is shouting to be heard, there lives a boy named Ethan. That he isn't loud, that he doesn't post often, that he doesn't try to prove himself to anyone, that he's just quiet. But that quietness, it isn't emptiness, that it's his voice. Everywhere he goes, there's noise, people talking, competing, complaining, everyone trying to show how great they are, and Ethan, he listens. People think silence means weakness, but silence is often the loudest strength of all, because silence isn't about having nothing to say, it's about knowing when to speak, and when to simply understand. There were days when Ethan doubted himself, that he'd scroll through social media and see others shouting their achievements, new jobs, new cars, new milestones, and in those moments, he wondered, maybe I'm too quiet. Maybe I don't belong in this noisy world. He tried once to speak louder. Seen. He posted things he didn't believe in, laughed at jokes he didn't find funny, pretended to be someone he wasn't, but it felt wrong, forced, empty. The more he tried to impress others, the more he lost the sound of his own soul, until one night, he sat alone on the rooftop, staring at the city lights below. The air was still, the hum of distant cars filled the night, and in that silence, he heard something he hadn't in a long time. His own thoughts, his own heartbeat, his own truth. That he realized that he had been chasing noise, when what he truly needed was peace. That night, he whispered to himself, I don't need to be louder. I just need to be real. And that's when everything changed. That he didn't need to speak to make noise, that he just needed to act, and let his work speak for him. From that night, Ethan changed. Quietly, that he stopped wasting time trying to be noticed, that he started spending his silence wisely, reading, observing, creating, learning from the world. While others tried to shout over it, that he began to understand that silence wasn't loneliness, it was space. Space to think, space to grow, space to become something more. Months passed, the same boy who once doubted himself began to glow differently. That he started waking up early, not because someone told him to, but because he loved that hour of peace before the world woke up. That he started writing his thoughts in a notebook, turning confusion into clarity. That he started creating small projects, art, design, videos, things no one asked for, but that came from his heart, and though he never bragged about them, his work began to speak louder than words ever could. People started noticing, not because he shouted for attention, but because silence draws curiosity. That it makes people listen. That he began to understand something most people never do, that silence is not the absence of power, it is power. In silence, he found discipline. In stillness, he found focus. In solitude, he found purpose. That he realized, real growth happens quietly. A seed doesn't make noise when it grows. The sun doesn't shout when it rises, and yet, they both changed the world, silently. There were still moments when the noise tried to pull him back, voices of doubt, friends chasing trends, people measuring success by likes and followers, but Ethan had changed. That he didn't envy the noise anymore, that he respected it, but didn't chase it. That he knew now, that the ones who talk less, often do more, and those who work in silence, are the ones who rise without warning. Maybe you're like Ethan, maybe you feel unseen, unheard, unnoticed. Maybe your quietness feels like a weakness in this loud, chaotic world, but listen, you don't need to scream to be powerful, you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Let your silence become your strength, let your peace become your purpose, let your stillness become your superpower, because one day, the world will turn to look at what you've built in silence, and they'll wonder how you did it, and that's when you'll smile quietly, because you'll know, you didn't need noise to make an impact, you just needed focus. Because sometimes, the quietest people create the loudest change. In this world full of noise, don't be afraid to be silent. Be afraid to listen. Don't be afraid to move slowly, while others rush blindly. The world doesn't need another loud voice. It needs calm ones, thoughtful ones, honest ones, the kind that speak truth, even without words. Find your voice in silence. That's where true power lives. That's where peace begins. That's where you live.